I love it when people say, well, I don't believe in chiropractic. Well, it's not really a belief system, right? There's a science behind it. There's an understanding of how the spine functions. The nerves that run through that spine control every living aspect of your body. So when we adjust your spine, it helps the rest of your body. So now if you're on your phone like this, that's about a 60-degree angle. That's equivalent like a 7-year-old child sitting on your neck. Well, it's that ongoing joke. It might, ruffle people's feathers, but heart attacks run in my family. It's like, no, the problem is nobody runs in your family, right? There's no fake flavors. There's no where it says natural flavors on it.
Oh yeah,
none of that stuff.
I thought it was natural though. No added flavors.
Yeah, when they tell you it's natural flavor, right? Yeah, define natural flavor.
You seen those videos?
I have seen those videos.
Oh, how to crack your partner's back, and it's like hold their arms, put your foot in their back, and just pull.
Yeah, so.
Welcome. This is live from Langley BC, where we talk to locals and business owners about upcoming events and hot topics around the community. I'm your host, Dan, local realtor. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment, like, and subscribe, as well if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, leave us a rating, please. And thank you to anyone who's done that already, because we really appreciate you. Our guest today is today. That doesn't sound right. Our guest today is what? Oh, okay. I see what happened there. Cut. Today, we're joined by Parm Rai, a dedicated chiropractor from Surrey, BC, who brings a wealth of knowledge and a passion for enhancing health and wellness through expert chiropractic care. He's also a serial entrepreneur. We're going to hear all about that and try some of his awesome recipes, which I'm excited about. But help me welcome Parm Rai, Dr. Parm Rai.
Thank you very much, Dan. Lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So for anybody who doesn't know you, maybe give a little rundown of maybe how you got into chiropractic, and then we'll get into the other stuff later too.
Yeah, totally. It's an interesting story to a degree because I didn't know I was going to, certain people grow up knowing passionately what they're going to be doing. That wasn't me. I went to UBC, graduated the biology degree, was trying to figure out what I want to do. And chiropractic definitely piqued my interest. My dad used to see a chiropractor for many, many years. I was one of those anomalies that never saw a chiropractor, but went to chiropractic college, which doesn't happen very often. And I said, I'll give it a year and see how it goes. I went down to LA, which is a great place to go. That's why I wanted to go for a year at least. But then I got hooked. I understood, started seeing just the power behind chiropractic itself, how much it can help people. And the big turning point for me was I did a chiropractic mission trip in El Salvador while I was an intern down there. And they had some pretty big earthquake in about 2001. And we went down there a year or two after that. And it was pretty wild. I was supposed to be in San Salvador, in the capital city, with all the clinicians and all my co-students or whatever you want to call it. But there was a town about 2 hours southeast, and it was a tiny little town, and the clinician didn't show up there. The intern that was supposed to be there didn't show up. And they said, you know what, Parm, it seems like you know what you're doing. We're going to send you out there solo. And say, all right, let's see how this goes. It was a pretty unique situation. I lived with a family who didn't speak any English. I was working in a town where nobody spoke English. There was 2 Red Cross workers, one from Chicago, one from St. Louis, and they would pop in once in a while and help me. Otherwise, every morning I would get up at Don Chico's house. That was actually his name. He was a really nice guy. Had a parrot who bit me a couple of times. And then I would walk to the local medical clinic that had opened up a room for me. And there would be a lineup of 75 to 100 people every morning.
Holy.
Yeah, so it was no appointments. Everybody kind of came. Whoever came, they got their appointment. And there wasn't too much communication. It was just kind of like pointing and this is what's going on. I would analyze their spine, see what's going on, get them adjusted. And the reason why it really turned my head around about chiropractic itself was just the phenomenal changes that we saw. These people had no preconceived notion of what chiropractic was. And they were getting adjusted. We're seeing kids that hadn't walked properly in years, or we're seeing a old ground. The biggest thing was this 90-plus-year-old lady that used to come in every single day. Her caretaker brought her in, wheelchaired her in, and she probably weighed as much as this mic. I'd pick her up, get her checked, and then pick her up and put her back in her wheelchair. At the end of the week, where I saw her every single day, she walked in, or sorry, she didn't walk in. I apologize. She was rolled in on her wheelchair, and she made a big kerfuffle. And me being an intern, I was like, I screwed something up. And everyone's watching what's happening. And it was one of those surreal moments where she grabbed the side of her wheelchair and took 2 steps and sat down on the table real quick. And there was silence, and then there was tears. I was crying. The caretaker was crying. Everybody was crying. And that was when I knew this is it. And that's how I become a chiropractor. So it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's something that stuck with me for, 20 odd years now. I've been a chiropractor 2 decades, which seems like crazy to me because it feels like it's been only 5.
Something you didn't want to do to now you do.
Yeah.
20
Well,
years.
from something that I wasn't too sure if I was going to do to now just loving every minute of it.
Yeah. Something like that'll definitely change your perspective. And it's cool you got to experience that because I feel like, maybe people who are in that field never would have ever experienced that. They see it on a different scale for sure. I mean, I've been to a few, and sure, you get somebody who is in pain, now they're not in pain, but where they're like changing their, in a town where they don't have that service, that would be, that would make a huge impact, right? You're pretty much like a miracle worker to them. They're like, how the heck do you do that?
Yeah. And I wish I could have translated or communicated to them that, and I say this about chiropractic a lot, is I don't take the credit for healing, right? It's the body that does it. We're just taking the interference away. We're allowing the body to do what it's supposed to, function better. We can get into that a little bit more, talking about the nervous system. So it is pretty wild. At the same time, though, I just truly appreciate just the power that it has, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I get hung up on those videos on YouTube. That's one of the things. Like, I don't know, people have their rabbit holes, and then I have bone cracking videos, and
I see a lot of them,
but sometimes the results is also insane. Like, sure, there's like the cracking, but it's like some guy walks in, some kid. There's one video I saw. There was one kid who couldn't stand up. She was like hunched over. And I mean, it was like over the course of like months that he kept coming in, they kept recording it. And then to a point where like he was actually standing up and he was taller than like the actual doctor. And that's insane, right? Yeah. Over time, just like slowly adjusting.
Yeah. And that's essentially corrective, or what we do in our office, restorative chiropractic care. Which is, there's many different types of chiropractic.
For sure.
Right? Just like there's many different types of MDs. So we do the restorative care. We see a lot of kids in our office, lots of pregnant patients, lots of young athletes. And you're right. It's over a series of corrections. Some amazing things can happen.
And I'm wondering, because I'm all for it. You hear people saying they're skeptical about it.
Sure.
It doesn't work. It makes it worse. So like, what's been your experience with that? Like,
yeah, for sure. Everybody has their opinion on many different aspects of health, right? That just like other aspects of like physios or MDs. A lot of people don't like their MD, right? That doesn't mean that all MDs are bad, right? A lot of people don't like their physios. It doesn't mean that all physios are bad. It's the same thing. Everybody has differences in their profession. It's an interesting thing because when you think about the chiropractic profession itself, it's the 3rd largest profession, essentially, in North America, past like MDs and dentists, right? So we've been around a long time. It's been around since 1895. That was when the first chiropractic adjustment was made. So it's not one of those, I love it when people say, well, I don't believe in chiropractic. Well, it's not really a belief system, right? There's a science behind it. There's an understanding of how the spine functions. The nerves that run through that spine control every living aspect of your body. So when we adjust your spine, it helps the rest of your body. Yeah.
But it has to be paired with posture correction and
absolutely,
and like exercise. You can't just go in there and you have to move.
the person has to be willing to change it themselves too, right? As powerful as chiropractic is, I tell this to every single one of our practice members in our office, is that you got to do the work too, right? If you're doing the exact same thing over and over and thinking that just this one little pattern interrupt will change everything, well, that's not going to happen, right? You got to change what you're doing outside of our walls. And then coupled with that, make some pretty big, significant changes.
Yeah, it makes sense. One of the things that, I mean, a lot of people nowadays, I think, have a problem with is being on their computer, being on their phone.
Yeah.
I'm guilty, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I think about is like, oh, I got to push back. What do you think about those devices that people use to like,
Yeah.
you know?
So those straighteners
Yeah.
and you kind of put the harness in almost.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place, but if you're constantly using something like that, your body doesn't want to do the work anymore. And so your muscles don't work as well as they should. So yeah, if you want to
opposite effect.
Exactly, right? It's like your muscles stop using, or you're not using the muscles the way you're supposed to. They become weaker. They're not working, or they're not functioning properly either. That is a big deal though. Like, you got your laptop in front of you, you're a realtor. And so you're probably in your car doing this or this. Like even when someone's looking down at their phone, like if we rewind a little bit, like we talked about the nervous system, all those nerves that are running through your spine, they control every single cell, muscle, and tissue in your body. If those nerves are weak or not functioning well, are those cells, muscle, and tissues going to be weak or strong? They're going to be weak. So now if you're on your phone like this, that's about a 60-degree angle. That's equivalent like a 7-year-old child sitting on your neck. So the next time you're looking down, yeah, exactly, right? And then think about all these nerves that are controlling so many different aspects of your body and how you're just stressing the crap out of them.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's funny, like talking about posture and changing your nervous system just from posture. There's this guy who's like, I forgot his name. Dan, do you know this guy? He's trying to live backwards. He's trying to age backwards.
Oh, yeah. He's and he's doing stuff with his son, and he's taking blood from his son.
Video that went viral. Yeah.
Well, I forget what his name. He's a British guy, right? He's a
I think he's from the States. He's a millionaire, and he started to try to figure out like how to age backwards.
I saw he spends something like $1 million a year just on his body trying to reverse
to see what works and what doesn't work. And like I take some of his, insight because he's actually like proving it. One of the things he talked about is like a simple change that helped. He has a problem in his family that's supposed to be genetic. And it's only genetic because he has smaller than normal, some sort of like arteries, so that flow blood into the brain,
the carotid artery,
which cause problems with this part of the brain.
Sure.
So that's why this family has it, because they have this imbalance, right? He said, number one thing, posture. All he did, straightened his neck instead of like being like this, changed it. And then they were testing him because he's like getting tests every day, all the time, and then so that signaling protein or whatever it was, hormone, started to reduce. So now he's like, it's a genetic problem in his family because hey, all you need to do is till your neck down to have this problem long term, and he fixed it just by fixing his posture.
I am a firm believer that not just posture, but I'm not the biggest fan when people say, well, it's that ongoing joke. It might, ruffle people's feathers, but heart attacks run in my family. It's like, no, the problem is nobody runs in your family, right? So it's about the different stresses that you put on your body.
Is that a play on words?
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah. So it sounds good though, right?
Oh yeah.
There's physical, chemical, mental stresses that we put on our body, right? And if you have already some genetic predispositions to getting a certain disease or whatever it may be, you may have that, sure. But you're probably triggering it more by not taking care of your body, right? If you're going to assault it with horrible foods or processed foods or too much of that, if you're going to assault it with mental stresses, if you're not going to take care of your physical body, like posture, etc., guess what? Those genetic predispositions are going to trigger a lot quicker than saying if you weren't doing those things, right?
Yeah, I agree. Everyone I know around me says that. Oh, you something you can't change, family had it, you're going to eventually get it. But I'm like, if I get it, at least I'm going to get it knowing I did everything I could to try to avoid it.
Bingo.
And then I'm like running, going to the gym, eating like, like supplements. They're like, why are you taking these pills? Like, you just eat food. And I do both. But yeah, it's,
It's just like someone could say, well, we're all going to die. Yeah, but then you should choose how we live, though.
That hit different for sure.
We're just getting started here.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
We're going to throw some analogies at your way. It's going to be great.
Let's rewind it. Well, let's go back a bit before we get too deep in, the other adventures here. In terms of, because you told me you grew up in Surrey, right?
Actually, I was born in England. I was 12.
Oh, wow.
I was 12 and I moved. I know you were born in Peru. Is
Peru,
that right?
Yeah.
Okay. How old were
you
when
when I
you
was
moved here?
6.
6. So I was 12 when I moved here.
Do you have the accent and everything?
You got to get one of those chemical stresses, a pint in me, and get my buddies around me. And
no way, that's hilarious.
The accent will come out. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, but I was 12 and actually moved here with my family. Moved to Surrey, and then grew up in Surrey up until moving to UBC. Then I moved to LA for chiropractic, and then from LA I actually moved back to England and I practiced out there. Yeah, I was living in Manchester.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I actually went back to my hometown for a little while to practice too.
Where is that?
Telford. Yeah, it's I grew up in Hadley, Telford, but the town is Hadley. The city is Telford. I say like that because back then it was not very big at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's gone a lot.
What's that really close to? Like big soccer teams. I'm thinking. Who's the town? Because over there, even the small towns.
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're like 25, 30 minutes.
So that's like the Canucks of Langley, would you say? Or they had their own.
Telford didn't have an EPL team.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they all have their divisions.
They have the divisions. Telford is very much lower division. Although I do have a Telford top, so I could always rock that. Should have rocked that today.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, it's a one.
Who's your English team?
I mean,
do you have one?
Manchester United, just because like back in the day, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But I've moved. I don't follow EPL too much.
Yeah.
Right. I don't even follow like La Liga. Like I literally just watch the good teams.
Sure.
Highlights. I think United was probably like when Berbatov and stuff was there. Like that's who I'd watch more.
Yeah.
But I don't have time to watch a soccer.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like 90
I'm a City guy. I'm a Man City guy.
Well, that's the thing. Like now with Haaland, it's like.
Well, I was a Man City guy many, many, many years ago when they almost got relegated or were at the bottom of the table. So I've seen them work their way up.
And now it's anybody's like.
Well, now they're the
Champions
glory team,
League.
right?
Yeah.
United used to be that guy.
Yeah. But then they went downhill pretty quick. It's crazy how they just move around like that, though. Went from the top, and then Liverpool was at the top for a little bit. They're still up there, and
still doing pretty good. They're doing better than United.
Like
City's
untouchable right now. So yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I have to experience. I haven't been across the pond over there for anything. So if I'm going to go there, I need to go watch a footy game.
You got to do it. It's something special.
I've seen them. It's
Yeah.
But yeah, the environment and all that. But that's awesome. Did you play any sports growing up?
More recreationally.
Okay.
I grew up in an old school traditional Indian family where like back, like not the newer school Indian, and my parents were just academics and try and do as much as you can. I love playing sports, played every other sport that I possibly could, but nothing like league wise. Right?
I wonder, because that's what would have taken me into same field, like physio or chiro. Like I went to that since I was 6 for like sports injuries from soccer.
Yeah.
And it really got me, like I saw a difference. The big one was getting my hip readjusted.
Right.
And they'd take me in and they're like, lay down. Okay, do this, do that. Here's your feet. And they show you their feet. And one's like way lower. And I'm like, how is that possible? That's insane. And then they do a couple things. Well, they test you. They push on you. And then it's like, you can't hold your weight with one side. And you're like, that's weird. And they readjust you, and all of a sudden you're back to normal.
Soccer players all athletes beat themselves up, don't get me wrong, but soccer players, because it's just a repetitive, constant, we see a massive torque in their pelvis. We see a lot of young athletes, a lot of young soccer players, and we constantly see that. It's just a big torque. And so when your pelvis is torqued, it makes it seem like one leg's longer than the other two, right?
Mm.
And that's where that comes from. But that's great that you have such a great experience with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing I would have definitely got. Like, I was gonna get into kinesiology, post secondary, but not a big fan of chemistry. So that's where I was like,
You and me both.
Never mind. That's where I stopped. So I just didn't even want to get into it. And but speaking about footy and injuries, so you said that's like a very common problem where the hip what other problems do you see with soccer players? Curious, because I think we have a pretty big following for that because
Right.
it had big names on.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, we also adjust the actual joints themselves, so we can adjust the knees, ankles, feet. It makes a big difference. But just overall, not only pain-based care, we see a lot of them for performance. Because we were talking about how that nervous system, if it's firing properly, all your muscles, your reflexes, your healing is going to be firing properly too. And so we do see a lot of kids and older athletes too for the performance aspect of things too. So they're not just coming in chasing pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Where do you see like they're deficient in usually? Like what part of like their movement?
I would say a lot of times it's somebody getting injured. And not so much, we can talk about the movement too, but a lot of times they're just not recovering. And then when they come in to our chiropractic care, we do a lot of different assessments. We do a lot of digital scans. We do digital x-rays on site if we need them. So everything's in-house. And then they find a shift in their healing as well. So that makes a pretty big difference too. A lot of it is lower back pelvic area. Actually, one of our patients just they won their provincial sorry, I'm blanking.
There's a few
tournament.
Langley teams won the provincial
just this past weekend,
Yeah.
Or 2 weekends ago, and the main reason was her pelvis, and so she came in, got that sorted out, boom, ready to rock and roll, right? So it is a lot of lower back pelvic issues for sure, and lots of strain on the muscles and the joints themselves.
Yeah,
as well.
so tense, especially running that long and
just constantly
multiple times a week,
and the planting, twisting, and the right.
Yeah,
and when you get the heading involved, I know they're trying to get away from that in the younger leagues.
I didn't even know there was a problem with that.
Yeah,
and my friend the other day, which scares me, because that was like I got an injury like a year and a bit ago. I cracked my face. Somebody headbutted me right in the face. And I fractured my like orbital bone over here.
Right.
So I was out for like 3 months, had a black eye and all that fun stuff. But I don't know. My fiance said there's definitely a shift in personality. I don't know. But my friend recently too, because he's super into like researching stuff, and I wish I did sooner. He said that football players and soccer players usually have the worst head injuries, and boxing obviously because you're getting punched in the face, but like contact sport where you're not physically getting punched.
Yeah.
Football obviously, but soccer because you're heading the ball all the time, and you think, oh, it's just a ball, doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And you do it all game, like all the time. But yeah, people get concussions from it.
When we take x-rays on people that have been playing soccer for many, many years, so like say your age category or even I know you're not that old, but even into my category, because every time you head the ball, what do? You go forward and you go up. So immediately you're turning the healthy curve in the opposite direction, and then you're compressing. So when you think about the spine, the worst pressures or stressors that you can put on the spine is compression and torsion, right? And typically you're doing both.
Flicking in.
And you're constantly doing that. So we start seeing not only obviously brain injuries and unfortunately concussions, you can't see those, but when we see in the neck, you see a significant amount more degeneration, disc degeneration. When there's more degeneration, less disc space, which means there's less room for the nerve to play in too.
Interesting.
Yeah, so lots of different things come up with that.
Yeah, no, it's something to keep in mind. I stopped heading the ball after that accident. Yeah, I know, it was crazy.
You put one of those masks on.
I didn't even play for a while. I told my fiance, I was like, I'm done, because I was scared. We just had a baby, and I was like, we lost a friend like 3 years ago because he was like sparring, and he had a brain bleed. He was about our age. And then when I was in the hospital, because my face was hurt, and like I felt like dizzy. And I'm like, oh my God, this is from playing the sport I love. Like, and so now I just change things up. I don't go in for the headers like I used to. If it comes to it, sure, but I'm not going to go out of my way to head the ball. Cause
Sure.
yeah, you're playing with your life potentially, your years.
Yeah,
not just
especially if you have
the
past
game.
injuries, you got to be very careful, right?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, what about this Lux Talks you have going here? Let's talk about that.
Right.
Lux
So,
Talks, 𝐏𝐡𝐸. Is that through 𝐏𝐻?
so the first one is 𝐏𝐻.
Okay.
The second one isn't. Actually,
Okay.
the second one's kind of cool. We'll talk about that after this Lux Talks. Lux Talks was what I found was like a lot of business owners, because chiropractors are essentially business owners or physios or whatever separate health profession you have, minus the MD, even dentist. You're also a business owner. And I find that a lot of times business owners, they're kind of on their own little island. They're focusing on inwards, and unfortunately, they don't get to hang out with other entrepreneurs or business owners. And I found that same thing happening with chiropractors. So back in 2018, I started what was called Lux Talks. And the reason why it's called Lux, it's a lot of times people think luxury, but Lux, if you look at the Latin terminology, it means light. Okay. And so just kind of, lightening things up. And it's part of chiropractic as well, which we can chit chat about later. So Lux Talks was created to help other chiropractors be in more of a community. And so I started doing monthly meetings where it started at our office, my office, where chiropractors come together. We do like a guest local speaker, which is another chiropractor as well. And they just go through challenges, wins, things like that. Okay, it's very similar to, I know there's other entrepreneurial groups that are doing it now more so. So I thought we'd start that. And then that essentially evolved into doing more bigger workshops. And we got a really big chiropractic workshop or seminar coming up in October 26th, where we're flying in international speakers. It is a little more heavy on the chiropractic, but I'm really excited that we're going to have a local renowned world speaker, child psychologist and family psychologist, parent psychologist, Dr. Vanessa Lapointe. So she'll be there as well. That's in October 26th at UBC Robson Square. So we started small. The first one was at the Sandman here in Langley. And so we've kind of slowly, gradually building. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, if you're going to Vancouver, then it must be, pretty busy.
Yeah, and it's great because it's such a, our goal is to attract people from all over North America. I know there's potential of some people I know that are be coming from the Netherlands even, just for the talk, right?
Wow.
So there'll be multiple speakers, practice management, philosophy, personal growth, you name it, we'll be talking about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're doing that. Excuse me. So I found that you were saying 𝐏𝐻𝐸. So we are going to be launching that soon. So that's a new launch for us. 𝐏𝐻𝐸 as in YOU. It's going to be 𝐏𝐻𝐸.ca. It's going to be for the general public. And so I found that in our office, there's a lot of people that have certain goals, or they need to be held accountable, or they want to hit certain aspects of life or personal growth, and they're not quite getting that, and they don't have that help. As much as we try and do it in our office, they need something more outside. So what we're going to create is a community. Anybody can join, and this community will be there to uplift each other. And at the same time, I will be the administrator on there. We're going to have lots of other people helping us out, where we're going to help people attain their personal growth goals, accountable actions. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Right. It's more like personal development style, or is it also in relation to like your body, like chiro?
It's not going to be so much about the chiro.
Personal development, business, life.
So there's Lux Talks, which is more so for the chiropractic aspect, but we're hoping to grow that into other health professionals, not just chiropractic. And now there's 𝐏𝐻𝐸, which will be for everybody, right? It can be for the mom that has 2 kids at home and just doesn't have that support system around her, and she wants to hit a certain goal in her health or her fitness levels, or maybe she wants to start an entrepreneurial business and she just doesn't know how to get to those steps or what she should be doing. Right. It could be someone that's retired that looking for, okay, I want to have a community around me that's going to help me do this or reach certain goals. So right now, what we're doing is if you go to 𝐏𝐻𝐸.ca, you can actually get on the wait list for it. And then also on that, we're doing some beta testing. If you put your name and email in there, you'll get an email back. And if you want to get involved with some beta testing, we can get you involved with that too. So we're really excited about it. We're still
What are you testing?
well, test. Well, it's not so much the testing is we're going to be looking at what we should be focusing on. How should we be shaping the community? We'll be asking, what types of aspects of life do they want to work on as well? Yeah. So we're excited about it. We're a number of months away, but at the same time, we're going to start building. And I think it's going to be great because it's going to be Langley based. It's going to be based out of, just down the street here. And
is your office, or where are you going to run it out of?
Well, it's not going to be a physical location though, right? So I'm just saying it's a Langley based company that we're going to be starting.
Okay. Are you going to be doing like gatherings of any sort?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first step is to do it have an online community.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there we can see where we grow to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I find that stuff is so effective. Everyone wants to get better in some way or another. And there's so many different groups out there, but what it's missing is that personal touch. So one of the obstacles I hear all the time is you meet some friends online and they're all gung-ho, they want to change their life, but it's cool, now they're across the world.
Yeah.
You can't go hang out with them unless you go log back in and go on a FaceTime. So for moms too, I only say this because this is something my fiance has also, we've talked about it, where other moms, there's different moms out there, different moms doing different things. That's as simple as I'm going to put it. And for her to get around the type of people that she wants and that we want in our life, it's hard to find people that are like-minded. So something like that would be great because it starts online. Then let's go meet at the coffee shop here. You're local, I'm local. We want to talk about this type of stuff.
And the great thing about this is that you would have people not only just local, which is amazing, but obviously we want to grow it. And there could be somebody across the world that you become linked with, and we help again raise each other up together, right? I really believe that humans are designed to grow together, not apart. And that's one of my main focuses in life, is that we want to get as many people together.
Yeah. No, I agree that everyone can help by.
And I like I see where you were kind of tapping the door where people evolve over time too, right? There's different types of people and we have different seasons in our life.
Oh, for
and
sure.
So essentially we evolve, and the evolution of your friendships changes as well.
Oh,
and,
that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you want
people you hang out with all the time, you don't hang out with anymore because you're different phases in your life. So now,
totally.
That's one thing that I'm so cautious about too, is okay, so who am I going to call this weekend? Because some people have different, they're going to want to be up till 2, or are they going to go to bed at 10 like us, So when are we getting things done? We're going to hang out earlier in the day or later,
Totally.
So stuff like that starts to change in life. Yeah. But because I don't want to run this too long, we have some samples. We always try food here.
Yes.
But you have also business that you're running in relation to food.
I love food. And
Me too.
Yeah, no doubt, right? And I love food with flavor. So my wife and I, Joyce, we created Gladstone Hot Sauce. Again, Langley-based company, right? What I found was that, actually, this goes back to my England roots.
Okay.
I grew up in a community. Actually, I grew up on top of a fish and chip shop in our town. My parents ran a fish and chip shop, the local Chippy, and our local town was quite heavily influenced with a lot of Caribbean demographics, a lot of Jamaican, West Indies, and to the degree that our fish and chip shop used to sell curry patties or Jamaican patties in the Chippy, right? So that's I was very exposed to that flavor of cuisine as well. And that was at 8 years old was the first place I ever tasted hot sauce at 8. So again, Indian family, every single dish has a ton of spice in it in general. But the hot sauce that I really loved and really, really resonated with my palate was the Scotch bonnet sauce, right?
Okay.
So it's Scotch bonnet pepper. It's on the similar Scoville level as habaneros.
Okay.
Yeah. So between that 100 to 300,000 Scoville units. And it's got more of a fruitier type of taste to it, but it's heat.
There's a ton of it in like Mexican food too, I think. Like South American food has stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So it has a little bit of that kind of flair to it as well. And so what we, so I love this type of sauce. It was called 𝐏𝐻𝐚𝐚𝐢𝐥, and it was a Scotch bonnet based sauce. But you couldn't get it here. You could only get it in England. It was actually made in England, which is kind of funny considering I just think it's a Caribbean sauce. But when I moved here and pre-COVID, I was eating I would order it from England because I loved it so much. And then COVID hit and all these different things happened, right? And I couldn't get the sauce. It's like, screw it, I'm going to make it. And so I went down the rabbit hole of making hot sauces with Scotch bonnet peppers, which are not easy to get here, by the way. We're getting it through a Jamaican distributor. It's not easy at all. So I started experimenting, went to close to 30 different formulas, and we hit like the sauce that I wanted. The other aspect of the sauce is a lot of hot sauces do have a lot of like either canola oils or seed oils, xanthan gums, preservatives, added sugars, and living I would say a chiropractic lifestyle, which is keeping it clean, keeping it healthy. I didn't want any of that stuff in there. So what we created, which you're going to see soon here, is a hot sauce that has only been made with whole foods. Mm-hmm. There are no preservatives. There's no thickening agents. There's no oils. There's no fake flavors. There's no where it says natural flavors on it.
Oh, yeah.
None of that stuff.
I thought it was natural, though. No added flavors.
Yeah, when they tell you it's natural flavor, right? Yeah, define natural flavor. Unfortunately, that usually is chemicals of some sort, right? So
tastes good, though.
Yeah, yeah. So, and now what often happens is a lot of people say, well, I love hot sauce, but I can't eat it because it's too much for me. A lot of times it's not the actual pepper that's too much for them. It's actually the chemicals or the preservatives or the thickening agents, like the xanthan gum.
Okay.
It's a very common thickening agent. It can be not so great for the GI tract.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely one of those people. I've slowly eased into hot sauce. I was not eating it on anything before. And now I need that. I feel like once your tongue gets weathered a bit from spices, you need the next thing, you know? So
and the health perspective is that it does heat and pepper like that does help your metabolism. I'm sure you knew who Andrew Huberman is. Yeah. So, you know, you got a few less followers than him, but I'm sure it's going to get there. He had a little snippet talking about, he talks about everything, right? He's kind of like a biohacking, but obviously a neurologist, pretty smart guy. He talked about your level, the level of heat that you can take in a hot sauce also tells you the level of pain that you can take on as well. So the more hot sauce that
challenge
you can handle,
accepted.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey,
now you.
All right, so let's bring it on. So Joyce is here as well, which is great.
Well, you can join us for this and maybe tell us about each sauce individually.
So
you know what I wanted to do while she gets this ready. I wanted to try like a Hot One style interview.
Hey, there you go.
So like this is it.
I love it. All right,
so this is for you to take home.
Yeah, we got some presents for you guys too, so that's great. And we're gonna.
Megan would have loved this for her.
We got one for Megan too.
You know what? Yeah, no, what it is because she's pregnant and she's in that. I'm gonna just throw her under the bus here. It's what's it called? She's going through that acid burn phase.
Oh man, she's not gonna want this.
Not good, but
so
which.
Yeah, that's all good. No, we can open those, and you can. That one's for you. All right, there you go. And then Dan can. No, you're good. You're good.
Is that an open?
No, that's for Megan.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had one for tasting, and then here we go.
I'll take the tasting one. That's fine.
Oh, it's all good.
None are opens.
This is what we're talking about. We're gonna amp up your hot sauce situation right now, right? So Joyce is definitely.
Oh, look, another sticker going on the sticker wall.
Oh yeah,
right here.
Oh, there we go. That's what I love.
Yeah, no, I won. Vancouver FC gave me one, so I'm like, hey, I might as well just throw it on the laptop.
I love it. So Joyce is definitely our driving force behind the the hot sauce company. So I wanted to make sure
Tell us about it.
Oh boy, that's an open-ended question. I think I need more specific about how it's going or what. A little bit about it.
We kind of heard about, I guess, where it started, but in terms of, do you guys who comes up with like the specific flavor?
Yeah, so we just have these. We have these 3 SKUs to start. So we have the red is our original. It's like our flagship
Here, let's
sauce.
Okay, which one? Which order?
Which one? We gonna
Which one
start with?
should you have?
Yeah, which order? I'm assuming this is the least hot.
What's interesting
Surprising
is
that it's not. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
depending on the individual, like because of the great thing about the honey is it's all local honey. We use as much local product as we can, so we can start with. I would say let's start with the chipotle.
Okay.
All right, and the chipotle is great because it's got that smoky flavor. Amazing on like tacos, and I love putting this on my eggs. Yeah. So
Anything off the
there's enough
barbecue.
heat on this that here you can go first. You can
So
shake
this
it
is
up.
hot wing style because you're just going to pour it on each individual wing, and then we're going to
No,
watch
you
you.
don't have to pour a ton on it.
Yeah.
Just like as much as you want. Let's give it a go. I'm curious to see how this goes down.
Oh
We
my
got to
God.
do the same.
Here, I'm going to do the same thing. We'll get the same one.
Not too much.
No, you're good.
This is supposed to be like drenched, like
Well,
No.
like you would find them at like Wings or something.
So,
hold on.
these guys? Well, no.
When the sauce, or is it like a little dabble? Do you?
No. You got enough on there. That's going to be good.
So it's going to be spicy, but it's not going to knock your socks off and you won't be able to taste anything after. We wanted to make a sauce that was really adding to your dish, not just like destroying your taste buds and then you couldn't taste anything for the rest of the day.
But we are in the kitchen to make one that's going to knock your socks off. So we'll have to come on when we got that.
We're gonna. This is gonna.
Starting
we'll
to
see.
smell.
You
We
guys
should
might
have brought some milk.
You guys are gonna have to take over after this. I already know.
All right, so give this a go.
Well,
Let's
there's
see.
sauce. There's sauce. I'll probably just drink.
There's a bit.
Fine.
You can drink some ranch. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Yeah,
All right, let's see how
Well,
this
let's
goes.
see how much you put on there. There's like not even anything on
Oh no,
there.
that's pretty good. That's a good amount.
Whole side there.
Some cold wings. My apologies.
What do you
That's
think?
good.
What's that called when people hate the sound of someone chewing? There's like
No,
an
we like
actual
that.
there's like
Yeah.
an actual word for that.
So,
Like those people.
so
We make noises for them.
we're just gonna go.
Oh, that's good. Where are these wings from?
I picked them up at Dublin. I was trying to grab them from Sam's, but
Dublin.
There you go.
they weren't
That was
answering.
good. No, that's good. I thought I was gonna be hurting.
Yeah. So here's the deal.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll transition to the honey, and you'll see there's a little more heat. People do like the honey because you can really have that front sweet flavor, and then
Mhm.
at the end of it as well. So
Oh,
it's great.
So good.
And like we said, we're using real
Right.
honey.
BC Buzz.
Yeah, BC Buzz honey
And then
actually.
the original's the hottest for now.
For now.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, we'll have to come back and you'll have to eat the.
Oh, you don't have to. I can try it in private.
I think it's better to do it on the podcast, to be honest with you, but let your viewers see how.
So you got to
Well,
make
th-
sure for
Not good that time.
That's great.
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
that was good. For our,
You called me out, so I'm gonna.
for our future
Uh-huh.
customers,
Oh,
you got to shake it.
I didn't shake
So
that
with the
one.
natural
I
hot
shake-
sauce, you get the separation
yeah.
because there's no
Mhm.
oil in there.
Yeah, I shook the other one, but not this.
That's all good.
Oh,
You'll
what's
you'll
up?
you'll get the flavor profiles in there.
You know
Oh, yeah.
what?
You sweating yet? You good?
I put a lot.
No,
no,
I
yeah.
put a lot on my
Yeah,
first
there
one.
you
I
go.
thought-
Now who's talking? You're gonna enjoy that.
My spice tolerance was pretty good for your average white girl before I met Parm.
Okay.
But then it really went up.
That's
it
like
went, it went
it's
up.
funny. That's like my fiance. She like destroys me. That's how it started.
Yeah.
She'd eat spicy food. I'd be like, "That's way too spicy." She's like, "You're not even like." She'd say Mexican as a joke, but I'm not Mexican either. But she's like, "You're not even Mexican. What do you mean?" But yeah. So I slowly started to ease into it, and yeah, now I think I can handle it.
Well, Peruvian food doesn't have a
Yeah,
ton
it's
of
not
Not
spice,
too
right?
much.
No.
No, we have ají, which is like a
Right.
red pepper.
Yeah.
The small ones.
Yeah.
I was listening to your podcast about the hamsters
Yeah.
and I was laughing.
Guinea pigs. Yeah.
They're running around the restaurant.
Yeah,
Megan
they
was like,
do.
Wait,
That's
you're eating
great.
those?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Here, we'll eat this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Chicken. Chicken.
Honey heat.
Not a guinea pig.
Oh, it's tasty.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Dan's gone quiet.
No.
I might have killed him.
The thing is, it doesn't burn when you're eating. It burns after.
Yeah.
So far, I
and
don't
as
have
you
that.
eat more. Obviously, there's going to be a little more burn as well. The name Gladstone actually comes from my parents' fish and chip shop was called the Gladstone Fish Bar.
Oh.
So it kind of made sense that the first place I ever had hot sauce,
Mhm.
we should name it Gladstone Sauce.
I think it's pretty
That's
hot.
pretty cool.
Do
Yeah,
you
you're
need to
putting too
drink some
much.
ranch?
I know.
Oh, okay. We'll see. So
All right.
I had the Bobby wing once. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. You know what the Bobby wing is?
No.
Oh, you want to talk spicy? Okay. So I think they numbed it, like they toned it down a bit. Wings,
Oh, I've had that.
the Bobby wing.
Yes.
Where's this from?
Starting to feel it. So it's in Wings. Wings, the restaurant.
restaurant.
Oh, the
Yeah.
restaurant.
So there's a Bobby wing that you can order. Wings. It's Bobby Sauce or whatever, the founder of Wings, and it's so hot you need to sign a waiver because it gets ugly if you're not a big spicy person like me. And it was a high school thing to do. You
Yeah.
go here and oh yeah, you didn't have to. I don't think you had to be 18 to sign it before, but now you do. So we'd go there and we'd just like have this wing, we'd all have it, and like it got so messy. So super saucy. You'd have everything from people who ate the wing rubbing their eyes to
That.
Parm just did that the other night. Was cutting a
drinking
jalapeno.
water right away, or like yeah, if you drink water, it makes it worse. And then me being fine, it was hot, made it through it. I think I drank like 2 jugs of water, and so I had to go to the bathroom a lot. And when I went to the bathroom is when I messed up.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I didn't wash my hands before going to the bathroom. You're supposed to wash them after, and sure enough, I was not having fun afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A different kind of
Oh,
fire.
Yeah.
You've had a kid since, so everything's still working.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but yeah.
I
no,
forgot
I learned
that
my
it was
lesson.
called the Bobby wing because I've had that and it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's just synthetic too, right? With like that.
Yeah,
oil.
it's just like
and it's
not-
the oil, right?
I don't
And that's
even-
why it's very hard to get out of your. So we don't have any oils in this.
Oh, yeah.
But
I
a lot
noticed
of
that.
some hot sauces do have oil,
Yeah.
and that is ridiculously hard to get out of your
Mhm.
pores too.
Mhm.
And so even if you wash your hands, you rub your eye or touch your eye, you're done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
like
got-
those chips, like the hot chip challenge. That's like a
Yeah.
synthetic product. That's why it's so spicy. It's not
Oh.
natural, right?
Right. And they say it's like, oh, it's like ghost peppers and stuff like that, or
Well, there is one that's created. Well, the Pepper X they just created. He's the same guy that created the Carolina Reaper.
oh yeah.
And that the Pepper X is now the hottest pepper in the world. But you can't buy the seed. He's not giving it to anybody. He's created it himself.
Oh,
And
okay.
It's like
It's like a
think it's like
GMO
2.6
that he-
million Scoville.
that he like genetically modified.
Yeah, and just
pepper.
made it, and
Crazy.
it looks crazy and wild. But
We
yeah.
sponsor a guy who does hot pepper eating challenges around the world.
Oh wow.
What's his name?
Mike Jack. we should know his
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out, Mike Jack.
Mike. Yeah, he's
And
he's
it's-
from Ontario.
It's painful to watch. So he's just eating a plate full of
Carolina
the
Reapers.
hottest peppers. It's tough. It's tough
That's
to watch.
crazy.
All right.
Yeah, no, there's
He's stalling. Are you stalling because you don't
No,
want
no,
hot-
no, I'm
hot sauce?
good. I'm good. That was actually really good. I'm still
You're gonna like this one. So
Yeah, this one's really
the great thing about these is like we got
I'm gonna-
like I guess you could say power foods. We got cumin in there. We got turmeric in
Oh,
there.
that's so it's healthy.
That absolutely. This is
Yeah,
what we're
it's
talking
awesome.
about, right? You'd be silly not to. It's part of your health
Yeah.
routine. And there's also beets in that one.
Oh wow.
Because we didn't want to use any food dyes. So the beet powder helps. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was good.
Wow.
I like it.
That's a
No,
lot
that's
one.
that's
I like
the
it.
best thing.
Yeah, no, it's a trend with the whole like since hot ones. I have friends too. They go to places and they try the like they every time we've gone to the wings, they eat the Bobby wing. I'm like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, it's
Like you're literally burning your
Disgusting.
taste buds. They do it after they eat, obviously, but I'm like, up until recently, I always believed that, and I still kind of believe it. I don't know if I'd enjoy a whole pound of wings with this sauce. I like the taste sample, like what we're doing now is okay, but a whole pound of wings, it's like you're just like, what's the point? You're just, I don't know, you're just putting yourself through suffering.
you're gonna
for-
drink that beer a lot faster.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Oh, I'd get chocolate milk in that case.
There you go. All right.
Right.
This is and I love all of them, of course, but this was the original.
All
Like this is
right.
the original formula that we made.
I'm gonna try to flick some of that off there.
Helps us past dinner time.
Oh, Dan likes that one. He went full on in for that one.
kind of got a, like, this is obviously honey. It's sweeter. This one is like, not like, is it more like Frank's? More like the typical red you're going to get?
Oh,
Like,
man, don't say
No,
that.
but I mean like that style, you know? It's not like Frank's doesn't have like a flavor. It's not
No,
that, you know?
Frank's is
Like straight
cayenne
herb.
and vinegar, and
But
that's
this has, yeah, you can taste some of that vegetable flavor.
it's my good go-to.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Versatile.
You
The
doing it?
honey one's good. The worst, yeah.
Yeah. You
But-
felt it was the hottest?
The-
You mean the hottest?
The hottest.
Come
not
on,
the
Dan.
worst. They
Trying to
actually all
sell some
tasted
hot
really
sauce
good.
here.
They all tasted really good. And yeah, this is from somebody who doesn't do well with spicy. I would have,
I wouldn't guess that because you're not breaking a sweat at all.
No, I feel like I did something wrong, to be
No.
honest.
No, the heat thing is interesting even when we're out.
Maybe it's because I'm on camera. I'm just like,
Yeah, you're
off
just like
right now.
toughen up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been pretty adventurous on camera this year, trying like raw tuna and stuff.
Wait, that's adventurous?
It was at the time. Now I eat it all the time. But yeah, I've been.
Well, I
breaking
just
out of
feel
my
like
comfort
Oh,
zone.
like
I know.
sushi?
I feel like I know you even that much better after that Bobby Wing story there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was probably too much information, but it's a caution to anybody out there.
Yes, wash your hands
well.
if you're going to Wings or eating any hot sauce.
Yeah.
I like that you record this. You make people eat hot wings, which is like the messiest thing to eat while there's a camera in their face.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it better. It makes it better conversation. No, I
Tomorrow we're gonna
wanna
bring
do this
spaghetti.
more. We should do this every time.
Have some food every podcast.
No, not food every time. This.
How,
is like
wings
the-
with Gladstone sauce?
Yeah, this is like because it's like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
I love it.
I like it because this is like a talking point for everybody.
Have you heard of this Langley Hot Sauce company? Let me tell you more.
Tell me more.
We keep it
What have
very.
you guys been doing for like to get? Because I noticed you were just trying to promote it recently, or you've always been.
We launched less than. Like, what would you say?
Haha.
Simply.
So you can tell who tests the hot
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah. We've
Definitely
launched a
feel the
good
sweat
few
of
months
it.
ago, but we're now we're in stores from Chilliwack to Vancouver. So we're pushing more of the retail side right now, but we attend a lot of markets. Summer's coming up, so there's like a lot of farmers markets coming up, which we'll be at starting in June. The Langley Farmers Market will be at the first one, so that's exciting. And it's a Coquitlam, Poco,
The Langley one is in Langley
on Fraser, and what is that park? Like 211th. I don't know the name of it.
11th Fraser
208, 209.
209.
It's like that cute little park that has.
Amphitheater.
Sure.
Langley
Oh, I
Douglas
should know
Park.
this.
Douglas Park.
Nope.
Nope. How did Douglas
Go closer to the airport.
closer to the airport park? on Fraser.
Someone's yelling at the iPad at their phone right now.
Yeah. McLeod?
Nope.
No, that's past
That's a big
the
one.
airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big long name.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyways, Google Langley.
McAllister, the one that's
No.
by the air, like right
Yeah.
by the air. So that's like a trails. There's trails there. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't know
That's-
they were doing a.
They have a Langley Farmers Market. Oh gosh, I
Oh,
hope I'm right
cool.
now.
That's awesome.
They it used to be at Coquitlam. It's not there anymore.
Oh, okay, makes
Yeah, it's
sense.
changed
Yeah,
over.
they have a big parking lot. So this is a place where you like on Fraser Highway, you pull in and there's
On
like a trail. It's right, literally by the airport. Like the planes are flying over you.
sure.
Yeah. No. Maybe.
Yep.
I have a feeling it's called McAllister, something Alistair or Mech, something Mech. I'm gonna look it up right now.
You need
Not
what's
for
Joe
mine.
Rogan's guy's name that answers all
Jamie.
the questions? Yeah.
Well, we got our own Jamie over here, right?
Yeah.
We got Dan.
Is it Maryville? It's
It's
considered
technically-
Salmon River, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be technically Maryville.
Park by airport.
I don't know if
Salmon
that's gonna
River
make it.
Corporation?
Why don't you just Google Langley Farmers Market and then just say the address out loud?
That's a good idea. Langley Farmers Market.
Anyways, you can also go to gladstonesauce.com and it has a list of all our store retailers where you can find our product.
Yeah, we're in a
Or
lot
you
of-
can buy it online.
Yeah.
It is on 211th. You were right.
I was right.
And that is the park. Oh, that is the park. I don't know what it's called, but it's the park. It's that park down
It's
there.
that park.
It's
the
a
park on
Fraser
211.
211.
Park that.
Never second
You
guess me.
literally drive by and you have to park in like a parking lot, a gravel parking lot. I swear it was called like an air park.
No, it does have a funny word.
Demonstration garden?
I don't know.
That's what it says.
It's really beautiful. You should go.
There's a walk.
You can go on
Isn't
June
that a movie?
5th or 6th.
I believe so.
Movie.
That is a sad one.
Yeah, that's a bad name to put on that park. Walk to Remember. It's right by the hospital too. Like, that's that.
Mixed
Have
messages.
you seen that movie?
No.
That's
It's like-
that's an old movie.
It's a cancer movie, like
Yeah.
a Walk to Remember. I think
Oh,
he has cancer.
yeah, it rings a bell.
Derek Doubly. Yep.
oh, but that word.
Arboretum.
What does that mean?
Arboretum. I think it's
Something to do with trees. Yeah.
Museum.
Yes.
Arboretum.
We're learning so much on this
Yeah.
podcast.
So
Yeah.
check out the Langley Farmers Market. You guys will be there. That's awesome. This
Well-
is an announcement because I haven't.
We thought we'd do something special for you as well with the Gladstone Sauce, since
Oh,
we love your podcast too. So
Okay.
when this guy airs, anybody that throws in podcast in the promo code, they'll get 25% off this for local
awesome.
pickup, and you can do a local pickup at actually our office,
Which is right next door.
like 2 minutes next door here, like a 2-minute walk.
Mhm.
So yeah, you put podcast in the promo code,
In
you'll
the
get
Gladstone. what do they look up?
GladstoneSauce.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can do a pickup at our office, and you can enjoy the Gladstone sauce just like you
Perfect.
did.
And you can make your friends
That
eat
was
wings
good.
and cry.
Now I'm going to definitely put that on everything. You should use that.
That's
slogan.
yeah, it's taken.
I put that on everything.
No, it's really good. And like I said, like I'm getting ideas. Maybe it's the hot sauce rushing
That's
blood
it.
to my head.
That's
but-
like Huberman said, it also potentially
It
makes
makes you
smarter.
stronger
But
and
that's-
smarter. Yeah.
But it tastes good. I am.
Thanks.
Well, that was our goal, right? Like I said, we want heat, but we want flavor, and
Mm.
and we got 3 different types, so you can put on all different types of foods.
Mhm.
There's a hot sauce for everything.
We're really pumped about it. We're really excited about it. We've got such a great response from a lot of anybody that tastes it.
Mhm.
And we love the fact that it's growing. We love that it's a local company. And we also just love the local retailer spaces that are helping promote it and selling it in their spaces too. And
That's
a
a-
lot of local.
That's a shot at local space.
Oh no.
I'm joking. Me and Megan were talking about it. I'm like, hey, by the way, the chiropractor that has that hot sauce company, he's coming on. She's like, I should probably try to respond to his email. And we were talking about last time how like she doesn't respond to anybody's email because she gets like so many per day.
Sure.
So she's like every time she does like run into somebody, and the last guest too, same thing. Not the last guest, but the one before, he was promoting something, beer, and then he emailed her, and she's like, and he's like, yeah, you didn't email me, and I'm like, this is the spot.
That's the same in every industry, though. So, Megan, no offense,
No,
take
no.
it. Totally understand.
Yeah.
It's the same as like someone coming to you at a party and going like, "Hey, bro, how much can I sell my house for?"
Mhm,
Or like
mhm.
someone coming to Parm.
I would have answered
This guy
them.
all the time.
Give me your address. I'll look it up right
yeah,
now.
but you know it.
Let's sign the listing right now.
Yeah, right now.
You're-
Yeah.
People come up to Parm all the time. Oh, like right here really hurts. He's like, it's midnight on a Saturday, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So I get it. It's not everything.
So you're not like a party trick chiropractor.
I know.
I do not
Yeah.
do that.
That's
Yeah.
the funniest to me. And I don't know if they're even qualified, but we've been to parties and there's a guy who
The answer is they're not.
by
Yeah.
accident like starts to do it and everyone starts lining up.
Oh boy.
And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what do you want? He's doing the same thing, just like put your arms up, like push it. So it's not like, I don't think it's like a bad one. Just like pull your
His facial expression.
I'm gonna say I don't do that. How about that?
Yeah.
It's definitely not a party trick type of situation. Yeah,
Yeah, you can get into trouble if you hurt someone there. Like,
you could definitely get in trouble if you
that's
hurt
like
someone.
Assault.
And yeah, totally. And if you're a little bit under the influence, you
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah.
definitely be doing things like that.
I
but,
know,
hey.
I know. That's well, you know this the like consequences.
Right.
If something does go sideways, I mean, we don't know any better. Just
You're just rolling up. You're lining up.
yeah, I'm lining up for sure. Yeah, my back is. Let me release some of that tension in like your shoulder, and then they like do the one where you hold. Have you seen those videos?
I have seen those videos.
Oh, how to crack your partner's back, and it's like hold their arms, put your foot in their back, and just pull.
yeah. So I would
Do a
say
PSA then.
that is a PSA that is not chiropractic. That is definitely a manipulation, but it's
Okay.
not a chiropractic and adjustment.
No,
Yeah. So that's why I was trying the difference between the two, because there's manipulations, sure. Like you could hit somebody with a shovel in their back and something's going to move. Or there's a specific chiropractic adjustment that chiropractors do.
Right.
Yeah. I always try and explain to people that are doing that, go for it. It's your body. You do what you want to do. However, you do you. Remember, there's lots of important nerves running through that spine. And you want to know what you're doing with that spine rather than just, again, hitting it in the back with a shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
He's like, oh man, I just did that last night.
I've sent a few of those videos to, the fiance.
Well,
hey.
we've had guys come in with broken ribs because they asked their wife to walk on their back.
No way.
Yes way.
I mean, like, you gotta be a little bit more cautious with that. I think that could be avoided. I'd get my toddler to walk on my back.
Weight restrictions on your back.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say it like that, but yeah, that's exactly it. You got to know how much you can handle there, bud. But yeah, where can people find you? On social media?
All right, so
farmers market.
So on social media, we're Gladstone Sauce on Instagram.
Go down the list. You got too many businesses.
Yeah, and TikTok. So for Gladstone Sauce, it's gladstonesauce.com. Use the code podcast. You'll get 25% off for pickup. And like I said, pickup is local here. And we're on Gladstone Sauce Instagram. Lux Talks. It's luxtalks.ca. It's the same thing on Instagram. 𝐏𝐡𝐨𝐧𝐞. We're just doing the website at this point, luxu.ca. Make sure you get on the wait list. It's going to be an amazing community. And of course, Rai Chiropractic, RAI, Rai Chiropractic at Rai Chiropractic on Instagram.
Rai Chiropractic Instagram is great. There's lots of awesome content on there. Always posting new videos and suggestions and health tips.
Yeah. And we love promoting the community as well. Yeah. So we do a lot of stuff in the community. I know we really didn't touch upon it, but from supporting local to
right,
which is a really big deal. Every year, at the beginning of the year, we typically do like a support local giveaways. I'm having a little bit of a blank here. You can help me out.
It's the hot sauce.
Yeah,
it's the hot sauce.
Yeah, we always do events at our office. We have like a September barbecue for all our patients. We try to get people to come.
We got a nice lawn on the other side of our building.
Oh yeah,
and so we've done yoga on the lawn.
Oh, nice.
We really work closely with 𝐏𝐻𝐸𝐺 Langley and the Infant Development Center program there, which is amazing because, like I said, we do see a lot of newborns and all the way up. If you have a code to donate, actually, we do Share the Warmth every year.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, I love Share the Warmth. We started a number of years ago. It was a patient, now a really good friend. He's a firefighter, Kevin. Shout out to Kevin. He's on Pender Island now. He moved to Pender Island. So we collect all the coats in our office and patients bring them in. Even people that aren't patients, we've grown it to the point where people are saving up their coats and jackets and warm things all year, and they come drop it off at our office. And then I personally go out, and we started with Kevin, and I take my son, and now Dr. Scott, our associate in the office as well. And we go out personally into the Langley community at night and find as many homeless people as we can, open up the back of my truck, and it's just like, what do you guys need? This past winter, it wasn't as cold, but man, we've been out there and it's just been horrible.
Yeah, right? I can't imagine.
Yeah, and
it was cold. It wasn't like snowing, but it was.
Yeah,
we hit like record levels of cold.
Yeah,
the year before was nasty.
The year before was nasty. So we're out there, and it's pretty amazing, and you get to connect with that community. And
they just want someone to talk to sometimes, to hear what they've got going on.
And it's not just like, a lot of times we have this unfortunately negative connotation or stereotype about homeless people, but man, there's people out there that just had a rough go. Mm-hmm. They're really good people, and they just need some warmth. And it's one of my I know it sounds kind of funny to say this, but it's like one of my favorite things to do every winter is that we collect these and we put that out to the community as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to get involved with more stuff like that too.
Yeah, we can figure something out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cloverdale Community Kitchen does really great work around the holidays, around Christmas time, and they're always looking for volunteers. They've got a big soup kitchen there where you can kind of come with your friends.
They do the coldest night of the year.
Yeah, we always participate in that.
That's what I saw you do.
Oh, cool.
I saw it online. That's what I was trying to figure out. What was the cause called when you were just bringing it up?
Coldest night.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's Cloverville Community Kitchen's biggest fundraiser of the year, but they do amazing work, and it is cool. We've done that before where you take a couple friends and you go make a meal.
Mm.
I wasn't actually Cloverville Kitchen, but yeah, they're always looking for volunteers. They have like a meal program too. So if you want to just work for a couple hours, you can get in your car and drive Meals on Wheels, they call it, for like seniors and people who can't leave their homes, and they deliver like home cooked meals for them. That's really cool.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, that's great. Well, yeah, thanks for doing all that, and thanks for sharing, and thanks for coming, and thanks for the hot sauce.
Yeah, you bet.
This is a great experience. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
I really appreciate
problem.
this.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally got it dialed in. Pushed it to the last minute before you guys leave, but
you got the spring market. You got overtime.
Oh man, right? It was busy. Yeah, but this is the fun. This is where it's really fun. That's why I don't like talking about real estate, because this is where I get to unwind a little bit. Get to meet people, not just talk about their properties. But is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up quick, or?
Can't think of anything at this point.
No. All I just smell is hot sauce. It smells so good. I'm biased.
I can't wait to put it on my food. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Fiance's gonna love it too.
We do have we're throwing so many. Obviously, we're part of so many different things that we do. But if you do go on GladstoneSauce.com and you don't want to buy something, you can still put your email in that website, and every month we randomly draw a winner to win a trio pack.
Oh,
so you'll get 3 free hot sauces.
There you go. That's awesome.
Cool.
Free hot sauce.
Follow. He's just like, follow us,
follow, like, and follow.
Comment down below. The more comments, the more entries you get. So thanks again for tuning in to Langley. Thanks again for tuning in from what? I can't talk right now. What happened? Thanks again for tuning in to live from Langley BC. If you're still here, don't forget to subscribe and rate us. We make episodes every single week. And if you want to check out any of our pages, click down below. There's some links there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.